I thought I'd make this video on why you probably don't want to buy a Chevy truck. This is a 2016 off-road edition Chevy. One thing that we noticed this last fall when we went to Colorado, driving down the road a couple hours on the dust, this thing fills up with dust like crazy in the back. I got a bed liner inside of this thing, and if you look inside, I just came back from Ontario. It took me 11 hours to drive back, so I just kind of thinking about this, I thought I'd make a video right away. Well, anyway, underneath the front of this truck in the box, there's all tiny little holes in there for the water to run out. Now, why in God's green earth would you put holes in there when you can park on a 2 or 3 degree incline and the water will run out the back? That's another engineering design from GM that I don't understand. But anyway, this thing was just full of dust. So when I first bought this truck, my son and I, the same guy that was out hunting with me in Colorado, we were backing down the logging road. And lo and behold, we're barely moving, not even 3 miles an hour at the most. Well, he's looking at the camera, goes, "Boy, Dad, that's a really neat looking thing." I'm watching the mirrors, are backing up. Pretty soon we hear a beep. The truck bounces a little bit. I didn't think nothing of it. I drive ahead a little bit, and my son goes, "Hey, Dad, you might want to come and take a look at this." Well, this whole corner was caved in. The whole side of the truck had to be replaced. That was what, $1,500 or better for that. So, I mean, it was probably more than that. I don't even remember. But this is the stuff you're dealing with. So then when I bought this truck, you know, the dealership talks about how nice they drive and how quiet they are. Well, the tires they had on this rig, you get stuck on a paper towel. The first grassy field you got into, you were spinning and you would get stuck. I took it to Canada in 2016. While it was muddy up there, the truck was useless in the mud. Off-road package. So back in, I think it was 2009, or no, 2011, I had running boards put on my other Chevy truck that I had. Well, completely useless. Those things will just could tore right off, which I did up there. And believe me, I'm not a redneck driving around beating the heck out of everything kind of guy. So don't even think about putting them things on your truck. They may look pretty, like these Chevy trucks do look pretty, but believe me, that's about it. Let's jump inside. Remember I was saying we were driving down them roads for about 2 hours in the gravel, dusty roads, and everything back there is full of dust? Well, anyway, this dash in here was vibrating so freaking bad that I felt like I should take my hiking shoe off and shove it up between the dash here and the windshield to stop it from vibrating. So I think if any of you and your buddies plan to go to Colorado, you should maybe go down to St. Vinny's, grab a couple extra tennis shoes that they got down there, so you're ready for out there, so you can deal with the vibration issues inside. As for the inside of this truck, hey, the guy that designed this thing must have been a couch potato. This thing is as comfortable as can be. The volume is good on the radio, you can hear it good. The 2009 or 11 I had was terrible. I almost had to get a divorce from my wife because she thought I could never listen to her because I couldn't hear all the dang road noise. So we got rid of that one and bought this thing. But inside here, this truck drives really nice. I have no complaints. Pretty good deal. Step out. Let's walk around to the front of this thing. Mind you now, this is an off-road package, all right? If you look at this truck has got 42,000 miles on it. And it's dirty. I just got back from hunting. This thing has got road chips. The hood's got dinks and paint missing. It's hard to see, but they're all over the place. They're even worse down here. So at 42,000 miles, and believe me, I don't live in hillbilly country where there's a lot of gravel roads. It's all highway driving. This thing is just not a very good paint job. So as what we were talking about earlier when we were in Colorado, my son and I, well, we had to do a little off-roading to get around the creek, down to a creek, and back up to the road to get our elk that was up in the hill. So we pulled down in there, we drove in there really slow. Mind you, maybe a foot drop off, maybe 8 to 10 inches of water, all a gravel bottom. Hey, not a problem, we can take care of this. We go through, coming back. Boy, I don't know, it's a little steep on that side there. Mind you, this is maybe a foot. So one tire up on a rock, we get one side up, we come up the other side, boom, bang, crash we hear. Oh, part of the spoilers tore off. Okay. Mind you, this is an off-road vehicle. So recently I was in Canada. Now, mind you, there's beavers in Canada, and there's beaver roads, beaver trails, and beavers all over the place. So a lot of times they'll back up the roads up there. So what happened this time is, sure enough, I'm going down the road and it's about a foot deep of water. Oh man, I got that really nice spoiler that's maybe 6 inches off the ground. Well, as you can see, here's what's left to it. You know, just a piece of crap, a piece of plastic. And honey, why don't you come underneath here? If you can see underneath here, this is supposed to be an off-road package. You'll be able to see this. Oh yeah, that's some real nice plastic you got underneath there, GM. Just a wonderful deal. So I would really suggest that if you're gonna buy a truck and an off-road package, I'm thinking that these yuppies that design these things, I think their off-road driving maybe is driving up their blacktop driveway and driving to a water puddle, because I think that's about what they amount to. Now you look back here in the background, I got this old beat up 2001 old Tahoe. And I live right on the lake, and we actually drive out on the lake to ice fish. Now I'm telling you what, if I took that new truck there, that's a 16, if I even took one of them new ones they had out there, I'd have to be looking in my rear mirror to make sure I pick up all the parts, because the warden would probably pinch me for leaving debris on the lake. So that's one of the things why I wouldn't suggest buying this truck for off-road conditions. Now if you look at the new 2019s and 2020s, whatever they got out now, they make these big cuts in the side here. Now this is a wonderful thing that GM did. If you want any place to shove a stick into your truck, is right on that corner there. And believe me, I've heard of it happening already. And you peel the whole front quarter panel off, and then you got some more repairs. Hey, it's an off-road package. Just remember that. So I would think that if GM really wants to design a truck, they should talk to a guy like me that likes to get off-road a little bit. I'm not no redneck. Not that there's anything wrong with a redneck. I think some of the stuff they do is pretty darn funny. But if you're up north and you're watching these guys drive around with four-wheelers sitting on the back of their truck, you got to really wonder what the heck kind of vehicle they driving. And believe me, if you see somebody up there with a nice maroon or blue or black Chevy truck that looks really pretty and all cleaned up, you can bet your sweet bippy that they're not even getting off the main road, because they're afraid to get scratches in it. That's why the silver or white is the best way to go if you're doing a little off-road driving up in the Northwoods or even out west. So I hope this was helpful to everybody that watches this. Thanks.